April brought a lot of news for anyone thinking about moving to Portugal. Some visa changes have already come into effect, and others are still under discussion by the government. In other words, there's a lot going on right now, and even more to keep an eye on in the coming weeks of May. Stick around until the end of the video to catch all the updates. Hola, and welcome to Remote Life Portugal. The biggest news this April might just be what many immigrants have been waiting for. We're talking about the Green Lane, a new process that kicked off on April 1st, promising to approve work visa applications in no more than 20 days. But is it really going to be that simple? The Green Lane is for foreigners who already have a job offer in Portugal. The goal is to attract skilled workers from abroad and reduce bureaucracy for both employees and companies, which are struggling with a labor shortage across the country. The protocol that created the Green Lane, officially called the Cooperation Protocol for Regulated Labor Migration, was signed with the support of several Portuguese immigration agencies and business associations. Thanks to this, consular services are now supposed to schedule applicant interviews within 10 days and provide a decision within 20 days once all the required steps are completed. To make sure this actually works, more visa analysts have been added to consular teams. Still, there are lots of questions about how effective the process will really be. Right now, some people are waiting over 5 months just to hear back from the consulates, even when they already have a signed job offer. Plus, Green Lane applicants still have to go through AIMA, the Agency for Integration, Migration, and Asylum, which is currently facing a huge backlog of pending residence requests. Also, not just any company can benefit from the Green Lane. Employers must meet a few conditions, like providing a signed contract, offering housing, and even training if needed. So, nearly a month in, we still don't know how well the Green Lane is actually working, but it's definitely a promising sign for those looking to land a job in Portugal. This new process could potentially help solve the serious shortage of workers, especially in construction and tourism, offering hope for a brighter future in Portugal. On the flip side, if you don't need a job contract because you work remotely, Portugal is still a great option. With the D8 visa, digital nomads can legally live in Portugal, as long as they meet the requirements, like proving a monthly income of 3,280 euros and having savings of at least 36,480 euros. The visa also allows you to bring your spouse or kids. If you're going the D8 route, you'll also need to have health insurance that covers your stay in Portugal. For that, we recommend Safety Wing, a travel and expat health insurance provider designed specifically for people like you. Whether you're a digital nomad, an expat, or just someone who travels frequently, Safety Wing offers affordable, flexible, and worldwide coverage, ensuring you're well prepared and secure for your move to Portugal. And we can't forget to mention that April was also a month of protests against AIMA. Immigrants from various countries took to the streets in Lisbon and Porto, Portugal's 2 biggest cities. One of the main topics, the Green Lane itself. Many protesters argued that speeding up the visa process for some people might just lead to even longer delays for others who are also waiting. The fear is that this new system might end up mostly benefiting large companies that want to hire foreign workers while leaving others behind. Another important heads up, especially for immigrants from the United States, there's a possibility that the U.S. Consulate in Ponta Delgada in the Azores might be shut down. This comes as part of the U.S. government's broader plan to reduce its diplomatic presence around the world and cut down on costs. So far, the Portuguese government says this is all just speculation. The consulate itself hasn't confirmed anything either. Still, if you're planning to move to the Azores, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Now let's talk about another rumor that made waves this April: possible changes to Portugal's citizenship laws. Before you panic, take a deep breath. So far, nothing has been confirmed, and these are just rumors. The uncertainty surrounding these potential changes should not cause undue anxiety, as the situation is still evolving. Here's what's going on. Portugal, like many European countries, is having some heated debates about immigration. Lately, there's been growing talk about increasing the minimum number of years a foreign resident must live in Portugal before applying for citizenship. Right now, that requirement is 5 years. The rumored change would increase it by at least 1 more year. However, nothing official has been proposed or passed into law yet. These ideas have mostly been coming up in election season debates, and the far-right party Chega is one of the main voices pushing for a tougher stance on immigration and citizenship. From elections and the economy to various events happening in May, stay tuned because we have plenty more updates for you. But I wanted to take a quick pause to let you know that if you'd like to receive these updates directly in your email every week and get a free PDF guide to help you navigate Portugal, just check the link in the description to download it. Don't miss out on anything important, it's totally free. Now, let's continue. Sticking with the election talk. Yep, politics also made headlines in Portugal this April. Next month, in May, people across the country will head back to the polls to choose a new prime minister, and the race is heating up fast. And yes, this matters for immigrants too. Depending on who wins, immigration laws could get better or worse. So here's where things stand right now in the election race. Socialist Party, PS. Led by Pedro Nuno Santos, they're trying to make a comeback after Antonio Costa stepped down in 2023. Democratic Alliance, AD, a coalition of the PSD and CDS-PP, with Luis Montenegro as their candidate for prime minister. Chega, a right-wing populist party that's holding steady in third place in the polls, despite some recent internal scandals. Liberal Initiative, IL. They've shown interest in teaming up with AD to push for smaller government and economic reforms. According to the latest polls, it's a close call between PS and AD, with votes being hotly contested on both sides. The election is scheduled for May 18th, and we should have the results soon after. Now let's shift from politics to the economy, because April brought some big updates there too. During the month, Portugal's interim government announced a major support package worth over 10 billion euros to help the economy deal with the impact of trade tariffs imposed by the United States. The goal? To attract foreign investors to move their businesses to Portugal. Those who do could benefit from special financing lines for working capital and business investment. Part of the budget will also go towards subsidies and credit insurance. Basically, Portugal is trying to stay competitive, especially after Spain rolled out a similar package to support its own economy. This move is also seen as a way to cushion the blow of trade measures introduced by Donald Trump. In 2024, the US accounted for around 6% of Portugal's total exports. But with this ongoing tariff war, the Bank of Portugal is already predicting slower growth for 2025. Finding a place to live in Portugal has become a real challenge, as some of us here on this channel know all too well. And this month brought yet another bit of not so great news on that front. The median price of housing in Portugal just saw its biggest increase since the second quarter of 2022. This info came from a new report on housing prices across the country. According to the National Statistics Institute, INE, the median price of family housing in 2024 hit 1,777 euros per square meter, which is a 10.3% jump compared to 2023. And no surprise here, Lisbon had the highest prices, followed by the Algarve. To break it down, housing prices went up in 19 out of 24 Portuguese cities with over 100,000 residents. The most expensive cities in 2024, Lisbon, Cascais, Funchal, and Oeiras. Another big highlight in April was the celebration of April 25th, also known as the Carnation Revolution. This year marked the 51st anniversary of the revolution that ended Portugal's dictatorship and kicked off the country's democracy. It's considered the most important national holiday, and every year, thousands of celebrations take place all over the country to honor freedom and remind everyone of how vital democracy is. If you're in Portugal during April, whether visiting or living here, you can definitely feel the festive vibe. People of all ages, from young students to older generations, come together throughout the month to reflect on life during the dictatorship. You'll see street parades, cultural festivals, and special exhibits in museums focused on that historical period. And speaking of culture, Lisbon just got a brand new attraction last month, the MACAM, Museum of Contemporary Art. Well, it's not just a museum, it's actually a museum hotel, showcasing the personal collection of Armando Martins while also hosting other exhibitions. And get this, you can stay at the 5-star hotel, explore the art inside, and even visit the bar located inside a deconsecrated 18th century chapel. Pretty cool, right? Plus, it's in Alcântara, one of the best neighborhoods in Lisbon to check out. Another great update for culture lovers, the Padrão dos Descobrimentos, Monument of the Discoveries, is finally open again. After 4 months of renovation work, this iconic spot in Belém is ready for visitors. Besides being a stunning monument on the edge of the Tagus River, there's also a museum inside, which draws in thousands of tourists each year. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at what to expect in Portugal in May. It's going to be a big month for politics, with the legislative elections happening on May 18th. The results could have a major impact on immigration, housing, and the economy. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. May will also bring a full calendar of cultural events as the country gears up for summer. One highlight is the Portugal Cheese Festival in Torres Vedras, running from May 9th to 11th, a must for food lovers. Then, at the end of the month, in Seixal, the Festival do Maio will bring free live music on May 30th and 31st, including performances from major Portuguese bands, Chutos e Pontapés, one of the country's legendary rock groups. And of course, warmer weather is finally arriving, which is perfect for exploring Portugal. But don't forget your umbrella. Weather forecasts are predicting above-average rainfall, especially in the Algarve and Alentejo regions. And that's a wrap on the top stories and events from April in Portugal. May is looking like a month of big changes, and we'll be right here to keep you updated on everything that's coming. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates and check the description for helpful resources. Ciao.